Hey, good evening. Kathy Beatty here with Divorce Support Anonymous. It's Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the time of the week when I like to jump into your life to give you encouragement, to give you a safe space to think about and process through what you are dealing with, going through this trauma and the struggles of divorce. How are you? I hope you're well tonight. I hope that life is finding a smoother new pattern as you go through this very messy transition. But I hope and I pray that you're well. And I want to talk tonight about support, and one of the illustrations of why it's so important that we get the right support can be illustrated by a woman that I talked to today who decided that she would go through this divorce, and she had an attorney and she was very uninformed of legal matters. He was a terrible attorney. He didn't show up to court. She represented herself, and bad consequences happened. I'm quite furious with that particular attorney, and I feel devastated for the individual who didn't have enough support and knowledge to maneuver through this divorce process properly. Now, I know some very good attorneys, and I've met a few very poor attorneys in my many years of doing mediations. But finding that support is so incredibly important right now. So, wherever you are in this journey, I hope you are getting the support that you need. Um, Legal, financial, emotional, spiritual, all of that support is so incredibly important. Hey Mabel, it's good to have you here. We're going to talk today about dealing with the family. And before we jump into that, dealing with our family, speaking of support, I want to give a couple of announcements. I always forget my announcements. First of all, September 14th, a new group is forming and will begin in the Grand Rapids area at Keystone Community Church, which is actually in Ada. So that is a possibility for you if you are in this area. And then on the 15th, I will begin a virtual group using Zoom. So September 14th and September 15th, we will be doing a support group. So I hope you will jump into that opportunity, because you need to be able to process through the trauma that you are dealing with. So what we are talking about tonight really is dealing with our family as we go through divorce, and who should I lean on? So let's talk about that, on where we get our support in relation to our family. So we all have different family dynamics. Some of us come from very healthy families. Some of us come from not so healthy families. So it is important for us to recognize our own family dynamics from our siblings, sister, brothers, moms and dads, cousins, whoever your close family members are. If they can be supportive of you right now, that's great. However, their support is going to have limits. And I want you to recognize that. So to look at your family dynamics. Are they healthy or are they not? I think of a story of one woman in particular who picked up her kids, traveled far to Oklahoma to visit with her parents. Her dad in particular told her to go home and figure it out, to work it out. How painful, because she was needing that support, traveled that whole distance with the expectation and hope that dad would be there for her. And he wasn't, because really he wasn't in many years prior either. But she thought, because of her great need, that she would reach out to family and he would be there for her. And he was not. So she had set herself up for some real disappointment. And there are going to be surprises with your family and you're dealing with divorce. Some good surprises and some bad surprises. You might have an aunt who is ever so supportive, and you may have parents or siblings who are not. You can expect that. So don't get your hopes into other people right now, because they're going to disappoint you, and you are raw, and you don't need any more hurt or any more disappointment as you go through divorce. And quite frankly, your family members don't know how. Many of them are good intentioned and they want to help you and they want to support you, and some of them do. Some sisters and siblings are incredible support. Some parents are incredible support. However, if you're going through divorce, your parents are older, and you would hope that you wouldn't need their support. But sometimes you do. You are desperate. You are desperate for comfort. That's what you're searching for. You're searching for comfort right now. And that's hard for us to recognize. But it's true. We may have been very strong, very independent. And right now we find this incredible ache and rawness in our heart and in our life. And that's because we are seeking for comfort. That is totally normal right now because of where you're at and where you're hurting. But family many times is ill-equipped to support us. They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the training. So again, you're going to be hurt, you're going to be disappointed from those people who truly love you and want the best for you, but they just don't know how. They don't know how to support you right now. So it is important that you find healthy support. Where do you do that? How do you do that? I would recommend to you that you find a church and you inquire about a pastor, a counselor, or you find a therapist, or you go to your EAP at work, your employee assistance program that many workplaces have, and seek out support and help there. I want to look over here and make sure that I answer any comments that may come in. So you may have a counselor, or you may find a therapist or someone who is going to support you. You may find a friend for a time. You can't wear out your friends. You need a space where you can really get the support that you need. How do you do that? You can call up your nearby church. Ask them if they know where a therapist is. Call your counseling center. Ask friends. Ask family, someone who has been through a good counseling session, and ask them to recommend you, and then go. You don't have to like them right away. You can try them out, see if they're supportive, if you think that you can feel comfortable with them. So you can try them out. You can try out support groups and therapists just like you do introductions to an attorney. And of course, I'm going to recommend to you support groups. Why? Because I've seen them work over the past 15 years with hundreds of individuals. There's something about being in a group of like-minded, like-experienced people that get you, that is so helpful and affirming for you to know that you are not alone in going through this trauma that you are going through. You're not alone. And that is incredibly valuable. So again, you've got opportunities September 14th, September 15th to try it out. And you don't have to talk. You don't have to the first day show up and talk. Many people hold back until they determine this is a safe group, and then they begin to tell their story. And in doing so, they help themselves to heal. So of course, I'm going to recommend a support group because I believe in it. I've seen it work. I've witnessed it. So you have an opportunity to join, if not mine, another one. Find and seek a group that is near you. So I talked a little bit about dealing with your own family and the cautions that need to be in place with your own family, because they are ill-equipped. They're not trained. They don't know how to direct you. They can listen to you, but even that, they can't listen forever to you. And you do need to repeat your story over and over again. That's why support groups are so very helpful. So I talked about your family and their support. I want to talk to you about the mind shift that has to take place with your former spouse's family. Many of you, like I had that family for 20 years. We spent a lot of time together. I was family. We had reunions. We had parties and birthdays and funerals and all of that we experienced as family together. But now you are going through this divorce and things have changed. And I hate it that things have changed so dramatically, but they have. And so for us to expect that same family and that same reaction to be there is once again setting us up for disappointment. We have to proceed with caution and allow them to reach out to you. Because quite frankly, they're going to side with their child and their blood relative. So you want to be cautious and careful, and you also want to grieve the loss of your former spouse's family. That's one of the losses, the huge losses of divorce. Take that time to grieve that and to experience, to sit in what that loss means to you, because you're honoring it. You're honoring that loss when you are grieving it. So you need that mind shift that these people are no longer the family that they once were. Now, I hope they continue. I had aunts and uncles reach out to me and tell me that I would always be part of the family, and that meant the world to me. And I'm thankful for that. But that really is up to them to reach out to you and not the other way around. Do that self-care and do that grieving and processing through this loss. And if they reach out to you, that's a great thing. And you can cherish that. But again, it's not going to be the same. It never will be the same. Grieve that, understand that, and move forward through it. So, of course, our natural tendency is to go to family. And if you have a healthy family, I hope you're able to go to family. But realize the limitations that there are. But allow yourself to be loved by your family as well. Allow them to minister to you. Allow them to love on you and to grieve this experience with you. What you're going to find through all of this pain are actually some good things can come. You see, growth can happen as you go through this experience. You are going to get stronger. You are going to make it through this. And even though that his or her family is not going to be the same for you, and your family is going to be limited in their support of you because they're ill-equipped to support you fully in this, this is an opportunity for you to gain a strength you never knew that you had, and to grow as an individual. And you will, because as painful as this experience is, it is also powerful. So allow yourself the opportunity to see what it is that you need to learn through this pain. Don't let it be in vain. The pain is a teacher, a growth tool. There is growth and strength to be found through this experience. Don't miss out on it. And as you grow, remember this incredible verse that I love because it instructs me and it helps me. It says, above all else, guard your heart. Protect your heart as you go to different places of support, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's a group. Guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. And that's a beautiful word of caution that God gives to us. No, totally agree. You will get through it and grow through it. Yeah, because thank you, Stephanie, we don't want this to be in vain. Because my words, and I hope your words are, it's not going to end like this. It's not going to end like this. That this trauma, that this devastation is not having the final say. Because I'm going to grow through this, I'm going to become strong through this, and I am going to create and build, with God's help, a beautiful new life. Be encouraged. Be encouraged with that. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us and for speaking up. So I hope that's been of encouragement and help, and don't fault your family for not being all that you need them to be. They want to be, just like your friends want to be, but they just can't. They can't possibly know unless they're therapists themselves. And even though therapists are instructed in their training not to do therapy with their family. So understand those people want to be there for you, but they're limited, and don't fault them for it. They just don't know what to do. So I hope this has been of help, a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of guidance. Connect with me if I can be of help. Please ask for my workbook, Preparing for Mediation. Don't go through divorce alone. Be prepared, get the support, get your team of experts. You will get through this. And then you have the privilege of building a new and a beautiful life. Take care. We'll see you next week. Kathy Beatty, Divorce Support Anonymous. Good evening.